Oh, yes. Welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What an incredible show it's been. What an incredible month it's been. Celebrating so much magic, so much authenticity. And obviously, everybody that has been coming out has a story that is so different. And this being Pride Month, I think this is so fitting. Now, Pride Month, we get to reflect on just how important it is to represent these communities, and especially regardless of their personal journeys. Now, someone that's here that is a special friend of ours, part of the furniture, like family, to talk about this, a multi-talented Lynelle Kenned. Let's put our hands together and welcome you back. Yes!
It's so lovely to be here. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. How are you feeling? Welcome back.
It's nice to be up this early.
Yeah, and looking exceptional. Well done. You haven't forgotten how to do the things so early in the morning, right?
It's like riding a bicycle.
One thing that possibly wasn't like riding a bicycle was coming out. This is huge for so many people for so many reasons. Everybody has this huge obstacle and weight that they feel when they have to just deal with this issue. What was it like for you? Talk to me about your journey. Give me all the details. Sure. Mzansi definitely resonates with this as well, and I think your story is going to inspire right now.
Thank you. I would explain that journey as something that was like the most beautiful and also like challenging part of my like coming into myself and my personal journey, and just realizing that as a society we have so far to go to like normalize that queer people exist, that we've always existed, that there are spaces for us to just be ourselves and be celebrated for that, like both socially and also like when it comes to the politics around it, like the laws that exist.
I like that. I like that. And I want to maybe throw you off here slightly. This might put you on the spot, but would you prefer a world where we didn't even need to have people coming out? Would it just be the norm? Or do you think it's necessary that we celebrate the fact that we can assert ourselves and celebrate our authenticity? Tricky question, but what are your thoughts on that?
I think there needs to be celebration until it is like normalized. The perfect world is where it wouldn't like matter, but that it would be like an extension of who you are. So I came out in 2020, and for me that process started when in 2018, actually, I met a woman and I fell in love with her and had like all of this internal conflict for 2 years about what does it mean about my sexuality and like even like gender issues coming into play. And 2020, the pandemic happened, and I happened to be like in lockdown with this person, with other friends. Like we were 7 in a house, and like just the fact that the world was ending and like everyone was looking at their lives like really for the first time properly. And I was like, I love this person. Why is it different than if I was in a heterosexual relationship? And I was like, I'm going to be honest about myself, and I'm going to come out to my friends, my community, and my family. And it was beautiful, and it was also painful because I lost a really important relationship with like a parental figure in the process. And that is like, unfortunately, still very often like people's experiences with their coming out is like being shunned by people that they thought were supposed to like embrace and accept them.
And a genuine fear, and something I constantly see to this day, and it's something that irks me inside to a point where it's frustration, because these are people that you look up to, your parents, your father and mother figures, the ones that you want to make proud, right? How much of a conflict is that actually when you have someone in your life that you want to just do everything for, make them proud, uphold that family name, whatever that is, but you also have your own truth to live? What happens when that is in conflict, which is often the case? What do you do, and what would you maybe suggest in that situation? Because I know so many people dealing with that right now. How do I face this fear of potentially disappointing my parents, the ones I love the most, but that's my honesty, that's my truth? How do we navigate this?
I think it's a complicated question, but I think just more support is needed for both of those parties, because parents have expectations naturally about what they want for their children, and you coming out and like shaking that up is traumatic for them sometimes to deal with. But there's also like, I think what's beautiful about becoming more authentically yourself is it shows you who your people are. And a parent can either go on that journey with you and be open and say like, I don't know, but I want to learn and I want to support you, or they can end up turning their back on you. But through that process, you know, like if that relationship is one that is worth having in your life moving forward. And then the beautiful thing is from that space you get to have chosen family, which is the most beautiful thing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, not
Chosen
people
family,
necessarily that
yeah.
you're related by blood with,
Yeah.
but people that like see you and celebrate you and are safe spaces for you to be yourself.
We need more of that. We need more people
Absolutely.
like that in our lives. I love this conversation. I love where it's going because for me, I think we also live in a country where if you vary and base it against others, we're in a unique situation where we seem to be encouraging this. We seem to be supporting this.
Yeah.
For me, this conversation almost extends to the point of like, and you mentioned it now with this parent situation, it's almost like to say, why can't love just supersede everything else that's going on right now? Why can't you seeing me be happy be an overruling sort of guide amongst anything else? And if a parent could see that in their kid and know that it's making them happier, nothing else should necessarily be questioned.
Absolutely.
In this country, though, it seems like we have more of an opportunity to celebrate pride, celebrate ourselves, celebrate living authentically. Why do you think that's so important right now, especially in this country?
Oh my gosh, I think we live in a time where just representation matters, and because of the way that media works and all of us have channels to be able to live publicly, there's one aspect of that, but Africa is a very contentious place for queer rights. Like South Africa, our constitution supports us in principle, but socially, there's a lot of stigma still attached to it.
In Africa alone, there's some mad polarities
in Africa,
as well.
so I think for me, it's finding like queer joy, but also keeping in mind like the bigger picture that we are still fighting for basic human rights here, and to just like find peace and healing within myself and joy in my community.
Now, I wish I could just chat to you the entire morning, but before you go, one last thing, maybe with all your wisdom, all your years of experience, and someone that has emancipated themselves, what advice would you maybe have for someone possibly going through the same thing, someone younger than you that's trying to honestly live and embrace their authentic selves? What advice would you maybe give them to enter into that space more confidently?
Yeah, oh wow. Support. Find the support where you can. There are resources, there are people that you can speak to. It does get better if it is hard initially. And just that there's a better world and more peace within yourself at the end of that. And that's what I concentrate on, and that's like part of what my advocacy is about.
Lynelle Kenned and Mzansi, if you want any more inspiration, look at the smile on this face. For anybody wanting happiness like this, find it within yourself. Chase your own honesty, chase your authenticity, and celebrate who you really are. I think it's important for us to express ourselves, our human rights, and the fact that in this country especially, you have the right to be you. Let's celebrate that.